now the latest around the wide world of tropics. Tropical Weather Bulletin for June 24th. Currently active right now in the Western Pacific is Tropical Storm Champi, which is maintaining intensity as best we can gather, and it's probably going to intensify a little bit as it recurves through the Western Pacific. 34 storms have formed so far this year on day 175 of 2021. Day 24 in the Atlantic, chances waning for that system towards the Lesser Antilles, 10% chance now. A weak rotation may pass over Barbados in the next 24 to 48 hours. 20% chance off the coast of Africa there for that system behind that could turn into something. Eastern Pacific though is what we're really watching out for. 70% chance on a system that is becoming apparent in the Eastern Pacific on day 40 of hurricane season so far. Still could be a threat to Mexico, although models have backed off on that just a little bit. Western Pacific, Tropical Storm Champi, there it is right now, looking pretty decent on satellite imagery, particularly with its structure, so strengthening could be abound for this storm very shortly. Currently we're running with 50 miles per hour. In the southern Indian Ocean, there's an area of interest that's still there and probably will be on our charts for a few days, even though it's only got a 10% chance of forming. Of course, it's way off season down there, but there has been some weak model support for potential development later on down the line. Looking at the Atlantic satellite imagery right now, you can take a look at that system that's approaching the Lesser Antilles. It's battling a lot of dry air. That's going to be its main barrier. Also in the subtropical region there, nice little system. That's not going to be a tropical cyclone. The Eastern Pacific then, you can see a very broad two systems really. The one on the right hand side is the 70% that we've tagged. National Hurricane Center going with 90% in the next 5 days, and on the left hand side is that smaller chance, 20% we've given it for the next 5 days for potential development. That Eastern Pacific system could go on to affect the coast of Mexico. This is the Western Pacific, so you can quite clearly see Champi now, which was named by the Japanese Meteorological Agency at last, moving northwards by the looks of things before being picked up by that front very soon, and then we'll move off towards the northeast. Could be a threat to the Ogasawara island chain though. And this is the Indian Ocean. You can see that Indian Ocean disturbance there as well, some very spurious rotation, but you can quite clearly see that signature of a system and low chances. A close-up here of Champi, the latest satellite imagery with the water vapor enhancement. Lots and lots of dry air towards the east and southeast of the storm, but it's not doing too badly in its own environment there. And maybe we'll start to see an eye appear on satellite imagery in the next 24 hours. So Eastern Pacific, just looking at a close-up here on the photo imagery, you can see that system on the visible here, and very weak rotation, a very broad system that will have to reconcile itself if it's going to develop into a tropical cyclone. Models now suggesting that it's going to happen probably day 3, maybe day 2, but definitely day 3 to 5 it looks like we're going to see the real ramp up of this cyclone. Sea surface temperatures right now, Eastern Pacific, right underneath that system, very warm, 30 degrees plus, that's really in its favor. Up the Gulf of California there as well, 28 degrees, quite common. In the Atlantic, the Gulf of Mexico, fairly warm waters there, and a 30 degree, 2 little spots there off the southern coast of Cuba, so really warming up there. The Gulf Stream also looking decent, and the open Atlantic looking fairly good too. That 10% chance that we've, that 20% chance I should say, we've got over 28 degree waters off the coast of Africa for a little time. Indian Ocean, fairly warm still, even in the southern hemisphere there. The Western Pacific, very warm in the Gulf of Tonkin, south of Hainan Island as well, and the Philippine Sea, where that system is right now. Tropical Storm Champi, temperatures around 30 degrees Celsius. It will drop to around 28 to 29 degrees in the next 24 hours, and then it will accelerate off towards the northeast. Sea surface temperatures will decline rather quickly. Sea surface temperature anomalies. Here they are right now. Pretty much the Western Pacific, those warm spots are the warmer than average spots. The Eastern Pacific again has still got that generally cold area in the main area, but also a few warm spots off the coast of Mexico, which of course where these systems are. June 24th, 1993, an impeccable looking typhoon Corin on this day was the only thing active in that year. But it was a Category 5 by our estimates, with an estimated wind speed of 165 miles per hour. It was headed towards the Philippine Islands, and its influence was just about to get felt during the course of today. It would start to weaken the day after, and I believe it still struck the Philippines as a major typhoon. So with Champi the main thing to look at right now, looking elsewhere in the Atlantic, the next name on our naming list this year is Danny in the Eastern Pacific. We still might be about to receive Enrique. In the Central Pacific, the next name on list 1 is Hone. Looking towards the Western Pacific then, our next name now is Infa, followed by Simpaka. In the North Indian Ocean, the next name is Gulab. And in the Southern Hemisphere, obviously time running out for the Southwest Indian Ocean before the next names come in. Kanga there. South Pacific, next name's Cody. In the Australian region, the next name is Paddy. Our team will deliver more tropical weather bulletins. Personally, I'll be back with my next tropical weather bulletin on the 29th of June.